I'm Stephanie. I'm 27 years old and I work in media. I was born in Ghana, raised in Surrey, studied abroad in Oklahoma, and fell in love with food in Thailand. For the last year, I have traveled throughout Mexico and California. For me, life is always taking a fun, yet challenging turn. But with every turn, I live by this mantra from my Aunt Mina: life is for living. When I was asked to share at TEDx, I couldn't believe it. I mean, what on earth did I really have to say or share? For weeks, I have pondered on how I will come across to you all. Every detail down to, should I wear weave or should I have my afro hair out? Guys, I mean, I've really done overtime. But it's interesting, right? How much emphasis we put on how the outside world perceives us. But it's no hidden fact. The outside world too puts pressures on how we ought to be perceived. According to Dove research, 72% of girls feel tremendous pressure to be beautiful. And would you believe that furthermore, 6 out of 10 women stop doing what they love because they don't feel good about their looks? Close to my heart is womanhood, not only because I too am a woman, but working in the media has placed such a responsibility in me to remind myself of the pressures that we face daily as women. When we look at our Instagram, the pressures of being on trend according to the glossy mag standards, and lest I forget, the art of posting a selfie at 8 a.m. to ensure a solid like count. I'm over it. How many of you here in the room are satisfied with 12 likes for your best lit selfie? 8 of those come from family members, and the only one who comments is your aunt saying, "My gorgeous niece." For many of you, that could ruin your day. Or, how do you feel when you tweet your deepest and most insightful light bulb moment, and you only get 1 retweet, that retweet coming from that same aunt? Life's not that serious. Self-love, self-respect, self-worth. They all start with self because you can't find them in anyone or anything else. I love that quote. Here's another one. From a famous rapper, US rapper, called Drake. He says, "Real girls aren't perfect, and perfect girls aren't real." It's true. In the society we live in, we are constantly bombarded with pressures to attain beauty according to what the outside world tells us. For me, I'm over it, and I want to live in my truth, loving me at the core. So, how do we learn to love ourselves in an ever-changing society telling us all the reasons not to? I guess we start off by defining what love is. For me, love is God, and a life that's good is a life filled with love. That's also a song from Nashville for those of you who watch the show. I'm an 80s baby. Any of you in the house? Cool. Let's throw back Thursday to an episode of Moesha on Trouble. Then we're going to switch it over to the MTV-based request show, playing your email request of B2K's Bada Boom. Yes! Now, although Snapchat and Instagram were none of the pressures I had growing up, the pressures were very much there nonetheless. When I look back at my journey, I begin to map everything back to primary school. For many of us, this is where we begin to form our ideals on what the world looks like, who we want to become. At the age of 6, I was shipped back to the motherland. Well, not literally, but yes, more or less. I was put on a plane to Accra, Ghana, with a one-way ticket and a VHS recording of Michael Jackson's greatest hits. This would be my closest connection to the Western world. So, here I was, in the Ghanaian educational system for all of 10 months. Yes, it wasn't for me. And on my summer break back in London, I told my dad I wasn't going back by force, by fire. So, here I was, back again in the British educational system. I would go to an all-girls prep school in Kingston upon Thames, wearing knee-high brown socks, a blue beret, and a fitted navy blue blazer. It would open me up to a vast range of opportunities, but also a door full of insecurities about my identity. Do you recall that point in your life? where the door of insecurity was opened, where the questions about what made you different would stick out like a sore thumb. In a school full of 250 students, I was just one of 2 black girls. What a major contrast, especially from being in a setting in Ghana where everyone looked just like me. I would now be the minority, the African girl with a fresh-to-death accent and a love for fried plantain. I would often compare my features to those of my peers and wish I had smaller lips and a straighter nose. If I'm honest, I was trying so desperately to fit into a society that didn't have a place for me. For my 11th birthday, my Aunt Debbie bought me this book. It would be one that would completely transform the way I viewed myself. Don't Give It Away by Nyala Vincent. What a powerful workbook. Taking me, the teenage girl, through a journey of discovery, exploring what I liked and disliked about myself, and helping me embrace both of those things as beautiful. Do you recall the point in your life where perhaps you were brought to a standstill, where you questioned your identity, who you were, what you wanted for the future? For me, that was on the 1st of July, 2005. It was the day I lost my mother, my sister, and my best friend. She was just 40, and it was unexpected to us all, and she would leave behind 3 children, aged 16, 12, and 5. I had just finished my GCSEs and had the biggest questions about life. Who would be there the day that I got married to affirm me the night before? Who would be there when I gave birth to my firstborn child? And who would be there to share one-on-one girl codes with me? In my deepest hour of grief and sorrow, I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision about who Stephanie was going to become. What were the things that my mother installed in me and my siblings that I wanted to fulfill as her legacy? Love. She taught us to love. Fundamentally, to find love in God. To love our family and our friends. Love broke down my barriers. It caused me to take chances unapologetically, travel, see the world. Yes, live. Just live. I see love every time I visit these beautiful orphans in Ensenada, Mexico. I speak no Spanish. They know English. But the beautiful exchange here is love. You see, pain has an amazing way of helping us realize just where we are in life. The author J.K. Rowling says, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation upon which I built my life." This was after she had lost everything and had nothing but her daughter. Pain can be a catalyst to propel you into your future, to help you change your community, your home, and even the people around you. Now, in my years of womanhood, I love every inch of my kinky, coiled afro hair. I love and obsess over it when it's wet, and each curl is defined. I am proud of my roots as a Black, British, African girl. I love my full lips, and the fact that I will never need lip fillers because God gave me more than enough. So, I say this all to say, there's a beautiful quote from author Maya Angelou that I love. "We often delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." Each and every single one of us in this room here today have a beautiful story, something that makes us who we are at the core. And if we can just embrace those differences, embrace the things that are awkward about us or society tells us aren't beautiful, and just live, we'd all be so much more happier. So, in the famous words of US rapper Drake, I want you to remember that real women aren't perfect. And perfect women, they're not real. So I commission you here all today to just live. And furthermore, embrace this mantra from my Aunt Mina: life is for living. Thank you.